Your Canadian visa got refused. Everyone around you is saying the same thing. Reapply, try again, fix it next time. That advice is not wrong, but is incomplete. There is a second path most applicants never hear about. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works using a real type of case I see often in my practice. I am Kyriaki Papadopoulou, a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and I work with such cases, applicants and employers navigated IRCC decisions, and one of the most misunderstood tools in this entire process is something called a reconsideration request. Most people either don't know it exists, they never heard about it, or they heard the term and assume it means starting over. It doesn't. Stick with me. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what it is, when it works, and when it's a waste of your time. A reconsideration request is not an appeal. You are not requesting a leave to the federal court. You're not going to the judge. You're not going to a tribunal. You're going back to the same visa office, sometimes to the same officer who made the decision, and asking them to take a second look at the decision they already made at the time of the application. This is the most important. Let me walk you through the kind of situation where this tool actually is very important and earns its place. This is a composite example built from patterns I see regularly in my practice, not one specific client file. Elena worked as a financial analyst back home and had 6 years at the same company, owned a property, and had a spouse and 2 children staying behind. On paper, this looked like a very strong application. Clear purpose, clear ties, clear intent to return. Her visa got refused. The reason was the following: insufficient evidence of strong ties to her home country, and that the concern that she might not leave Canada at the end of her stay. I found this unreasonable. And here when it gets very interesting. When we review Elena's original application package, the ties were there, the documents were there, employment letter confirming the position and the approved leave date, property title, detailed letter of explanation, naming the spouse, the children by name, birth certificate, school records, letter from her sister, everything was submitted. The refusal didn't dispute any of this evidence. It just didn't reference it at all. That is a signal. When a refuser reads like the strongest part of your file were never considered, that's not an automatically guaranteed win, but it's exactly the kind of gap of a reconsideration request is built to address. So very important, check the notes. Before we go further, timing. So how did we respond? A strong reconsideration letter has 5 parts, and I will show you each one how we played out. 1. Respectful opening. Address the officer directly. Thank them for their review and state clearly that you are requesting a reconsideration. No hostility, no accusations. You want to be read as a credible professional voice, not as an adversary. 2. The refusal reasons listed plainly. We restated the officer's stated concern about ties and retained intent in the officer's own framing, so there is no ambiguity about what we do. Clearly. 3. The challenge. This is the core of the letter. For each concern, we pointed to the exact document we already filed that addressed it, the employment letter, the property title, the family details, and noted that the refusal didn't reference this evidence. They were nowhere. 4. Supporting precedent. This is where a lot of self-submitted letters fall short. Past federal court decisions exist and they are available online, where visas were reconsidered because an officer reasons didn't engage with the evidence on file. Citing a comparable precedent turns your letter from "please begin" into "here's why the decision doesn't hold up." It's very important to find relevant cases from the federal court. Once the letter is written, here is the actual submission process. First of all, you go to your portal, pull your refusal letter. You will need the exact date and the application number. This helps to save time and prepare a winning strategy. Gather your original submission every document exactly as filed. Nothing new, no new documents. Finalize your letter using the 5-part structure. Package everything together, refusal letter, original documents, and add your reconsideration letter. And submit it to the specific visa office that made the decision, either through IRCC web form or by email depending the office. There is no government fee to submit this, so 0 fees and you can send it to the specific office. I want to be honest with you about something. That outcome isn't guaranteed. Disadvantages, and this matter. Officers have full discretion over whether to even review your request. I have had cases where months pass and no response at all. And remember, no new evidence is allowed. If your original application genuinely had gaps, this tool won't fix that. In that situation, a fresh, stronger application is almost always the better use of your time. Don't waste your time. So before you go, write one of these tonight. Ask yourself honestly, was there a specific identifiable error in how the officer reviewed your file? Or looking back, there were real gaps in what you submitted? If it's the first, a reconsideration request deserves serious consideration. If it's the second one, your time is better spent build a stronger application from scratch. If your visa got refused and you are not sure which category you're in, that's exactly the type of question worth getting a second opinion on. Send me your refusal letter and I will give you a straight answer. Reconsideration, reapplication, or another path that is applied to you. Link on my bio. And if this was helpful, follow along. I break down real IRCC processes like this every week. Have a great night.